I think one of the hardest things that we had to go through as a family probably was when I first got sick. You were, I think, 2, and you were 4, and I found the lump on my neck. It's okay. I found a lump on my neck, and there's nothing so scary as when you tell the doctor that you have a lump on your neck, and they freak out and they usher you away to have all these blood tests. You figure that you're going to be okay, and actually the tumors that year were perfectly fine. They were non-cancerous, and I was okay, and that was a good thing. So what do? We decided to move to Florida to get away from all those bad memories, and then the cancer came back. And the second year, the cancer wasn't quite as easy because they had to sweep out some parathyroid glands, and I was left with an illness that I have, and I always have. I know that you guys struggle every day having to deal with me having seizures, and I know it's sometimes we funnily refer to it as shake and bake mama, because sometimes when I forget to take my meds, or if I eat food I'm not supposed to eat, sometimes unfortunately I have seizures, and you guys have to deal with that a lot, and that's hard. And how does it like for you? I'm sure it's harder for you than it is for me.
I mean, I know when we were younger and you got it, I mean, I didn't really know what went on. I was 2, 3, like, all I knew is that you weren't there for me, and I was always living with different family members, and now, I mean, it's gotten a lot better, but it's still difficult because we always face challenges, like
going
where
on?
we eat, when we eat, how we eat.
I know it's hard for you because I can't eat a lot of salty food, and I can't go on roller coaster rides anymore. So when we go to theme parks, Dad gets to be the person that rides the rides, But despite all of that, and I was in bed the second surgery for 3 months until they figured out what was causing the seizures, and it was hard. And you did have family members in and out taking care of you, but we're blessed that we had family members to do that. And I think that we're blessed because even though we had all of that happen, and I have to take more pills than my grandparents had to take, even though we have all of that in our lives, and doctors are a normal thing for our family, I think that we've risen above that. I think that we've taken that and learned that health is a very precious thing, and that having, in our family is a very precious thing. And I know that, it was hard for, you, when you see me having seizures, I know it's really scary. I'm sure you're scared, and by now, and Daddy steps in. He's always my pill guy.
I can tell.
Cramming the pills down my throat and making me, to help me get better. And I appreciate that all of you, there have been some days when I haven't been feeling well and I can't get up and around, and you guys are there for me. And I appreciate that because it's got to be hard to have a mom that's a little bit different than the rest of the moms.
Who needs roller coasters?
Or eat potato chips, who wants them?
Yeah, who wants them? Well, I miss them very much, but but still, I know it's a challenge for you, and it's been a challenge for our family. But I want you to understand that, that we're very lucky, that there are people out there that struggle with illness and they don't get better, and that even though I take all those medications, I have doctors that are helping me, and it's a good thing that we saw a light, and our lives are good now. It's a good thing for our lives. And
on that note,
well, I think your illness has made us appreciate how important things are. It gives you a better perspective how some things really matter and some things shouldn't be so important. And I think you guys are more grounded. You have a better understanding about how priorities need to be set. And you're more giving and more supportive than most young adults. You had to grow up a little bit sooner than some kids. We made it through the hard times. It took more responsibility, and I think we came out stronger. I think it made us closer, and we still continue every day, we continue every day to push ahead and keep looking forward to more good times.
Not taking life for granted.
Exactly.
I remember growing up early. Even though I had not a clue in the world what was going on, I learned to mop and sweep when I was 2 years old, and I would walk around with the broom that was 3 feet taller than my head and drag it across the whole house, and I just thought that was the greatest thing.
You did. Your grandma taught you, and you were so excited. You thought that was the best thing ever. Yeah. So there was a perk to that. Why don't you do that now?
Yeah. What you doing now?
My favorite. Can't say it's my favorite, but it was fortunate at the time. Now, no, I don't. Not a great hobby.
Well, I think that something else that bad that came out of my illness was that, after the recovery period after I had gotten better and everything I didn't take life for granted anymore. I went out and took chances. I became a teacher. I volunteered in the schools. I remember that first day when I walked you to kindergarten, I didn't think I was going to make it because I hadn't been out of bed yet. It was like, that was my promise to myself that I was going to make it to school with you. And the fact that I just kept going, and it gave me a new lease on life, and I wasn't afraid to try things anymore. It made me realize that I can try things. It's not going to kill me to try, to try and do something different that I've never done before. It's pretty exciting, and I became a teacher, so I'm really proud. I don't know if I would have otherwise. So it pushed me to be, I think, a better person. I know a better person, and I know that one of the consequences of my illness, and I know that a lot of people struggle, but the spouse takes on a lot of extra pressure.
At times. Well, I know it was hard for me to deal with the changes we were going through. It was a stressful time, and I think I was having a hard time dealing with everything going on, and it was difficult for me to cope. And I know, I was looking for ways of getting out of this stress and coping with it, and I started drinking too much. And that was my coping mechanism, and I thought it was going to help me cope. And ironically, it ended up being a problem for the family. And I'm grateful now that I realize that I was using that to cope with things when I really didn't need it. And since I stopped drinking almost 2 years ago, it's given me a lot more time. I'm healthier, I feel better, we have more time to go do things together, and I think we all have benefited by me being more involved and just being more spiritual, more positive, and I'm grateful for that. And that's in a way of, kind of a side note of your mother's illness, was it helped me go through something that made me stronger. So I think right now we're a strong family. We've been through some hard times,
but we put each
came
other
out
first.
stronger.
We always put each other. We're finally learned, we as husband and wife, to put each other first. And
we're
we've
both
always,
second.
Yeah. You're second now. You used to be first, though. Your dad and I focused on you and made you our priority for a long time, and we found out that we also needed to make each other a priority, and that was something that we had to learn. That and we finally learned that, and look where we are now. It's a beautiful thing. I'm very proud of our family, and very proud for what we went through, and that we've come out a stronger family.
Stop.
Sorry. But I am. I'm so glad that I'm amazed that every day that we created you, both of you, that you make us proud every single day to be your parents. And I'm proud of your daddy now because, he's made a change in his life for the better of all of us. And, we have a great life. I'm very happy with our life now. And so we shouldn't be crying because everything, I think the whole thing with all of this is that we want to make the inside of our house look like we feel now, you know, because we've had an extreme family makeover.
Yeah.
And now,
New
you
beginning.
know, now I think, yeah, new beginning, you know, I'd like the house to reflect our new lives together and reflect, you know, how much we love each other and the happiness that we have together. So that is my goal, is that we can do that for each other. Sorry.
Hi, this is Ross. Just want to make a quick video note and maybe add this in at the end. My wife is a wonderful person who inspires and teaches on a daily basis, and I don't take this for granted. I know that she has a gift of teaching. I know she has a gift of caring, and it amazes me when I meet her students and I see how she inspires them and how grateful they are to have her as a teacher. I know my wife has been volunteering in many capacities, many callings over the years, whether it was Cub Scouts, we would go camping, she'd never complain, or cheerleading when all the other parents seemed to be involved in other activities. She always stepped up and took the responsibility. And I think this has been incredibly valuable because my children are learning that helping and inspiring other people is more important than the grades that they get in school or how much annual salaries they may make. They're learning that helping other people and inspiring other people is possibly the most important goal that they should have in their life. My wife and I have taught my children that volunteering and helping other people comes first. And I know that they've learned that that is the greatest reward in life, is when you volunteer and you inspire and you help people that need help. I would like my wife to have possibly a kitchen remodel, because after her thyroid cancer, she had to be on a special diet where she can't eat salt, and most of her meals have to be prepared at home to avoid complications and seizures. And my wife is a wonderful cook, and I just like to have a kitchen that she could do some of her cooking in and be more comfortable and have a little more room. I've been inspired by my wife. I appreciate everything she's done, and I know that she continues to love and support me. I go to meetings several times a week, and she's never once, complained or asked why I need to be involved in different meetings and in different outside activities. She actually encourages me and supports me in my recovery efforts, and that is invaluable, and that's not always common, that you have a spouse that completely backs you up in everything you do. And Tammy has always been that way, and so I'm very grateful for her. And again, I think that's a great role model for my children, and I'm sure she does that at school with her students. She teaches the same values, and I think that's what I love so much about my wife, and that's what I admire by her. I think Tammy's illness and her challenges that she's gone through has made her a stronger person. I know that it has given me and my family a better perspective on life, and I really don't hear my family complain about what they don't have. They're very grateful for what they do have. So I feel like a home remodel would be a wonderful thing, and truly, we would be grateful for it. But I feel like we are blessed already, and I just am so happy that my wife would be considered for this. I think my wife deserves so much in life, and I'm not sure that she'll ever get as much as she deserves, and I'm not sure she'll ever understand how much I love and appreciate her. But it's important that we keep trying as a family, that we keep growing and we keep working together. And I just really love my wife, and I'd like to have everything for her. Thanks.